Um, our debate here is that the Affordable Care Act mandate is costing us, the taxpayer, you and I, billions of dollars by providing unnecessary services, by misclassifying pregnancy as a disease or as a disorder, which then in turn puts the contraceptives as preventive care. But also the Affordable Care Act is unconstitutional because it forces people to go against their religious preferences and their moral standing by having to be dragged into these insurance risk pools and taxes to pay for contraceptives. We believe that these funds, this taxpayer money, should be used on more important and productive projects and services, like combating unemployment and subsidizing education. Now, my opponent stated that contraceptives should remain as preventive care, and I beg to differ that contraceptives should not remain as preventive care because simply it is not preventive care. It's more of a luxury. It's a choice that you're using to take. If you have a headache, you take Motrin, right? Or you take ibuprofen, but you can choose not to take it and deal with the headache. Now, she stressed that some of the contraceptives are used for medicinal reasons, like regulating periods and helping with like PMDD or menopause, but that falls under a different category. The argument here is the preventive care issue that's under the mandate. The contraceptives used for medical purposes fall under the category of primary care, so therefore it is not effective. There's a big difference between primary care and preventive medicine. And also, while periods can be uncomfortable, it is still the responsibility of the female to supply her own medicine. Okay? Just like if I have a headache, I'm gonna go get myself a Motrin. I'm not gonna go get taxpayer dollars to get my pills. I understand, I mean, I don't have periods, but again, medically speaking, periods are not a disease. They're only a discomfort. Now, as far as hormones and birth control goes for treating menopause, again, the contraceptions used to treat disorders like menopause or PMDD fall under primary care, and so that mandate in the law is not effective. Now, as far as osteoporosis goes, early stages, the findings are in the early stages of the study, so there's no definite conclusion on the test. However, the most effective primary care medicine for osteoporosis, alendronate, is the most effective recommended medicine that not only targets bone loss and thinning, but it also helps rebuild it, which has nothing to do with birth control. And lastly, she stated that married couples also use it to control their family and how they want to plan their families. But the issue here is that married couples usually have a more take-home income. And so I'm just going to quote something real quick here. John Cochrane, in his article, The Real Trouble with Birth Control Mandate, pretty much simply puts it like this. He says, anyone who can afford a cell phone can afford pills or condoms. So, in taking in mind the income that a married couple brings to the household, if they can afford their cell phones, then they can definitely afford the pills or the contraceptions that they need to control their family. And just to give an insight on insurance and how they work, again, John Cochrane further states that insurance is supposed to mean a contract by which company pays for large unanticipated expenses in return for a premium, like expenses like your house burning down, your car getting stolen, or a big medical bill. That's what insurance is. So, with that being said, contraceptives should not be classified as preventive care and should be stripped from Obamacare law.